This is Brian and Dave, and we're overflying now on the left of Tinker's Green, which was a state railway station, and heading down the Burma Road. Most will recognise the black and white building there, which is called South Lodge officially, but we will all know it firmly entrenched in our memories as the post office. We're looking over the BT complex now in the far part of camp. This is the one area that's in the camp that has really been overbuilt. Most camps now would be long housing estates. Many will recognise this as the most popular way to town, which is the stile along the railway. Very few of us after the first term or so ever ventured out the front door of Porkhole Camp past the guard room, preferring to use the stile. Crossing over now, there's a bypass cuts where D Company was, but you can see there in the mid-distance the three gymnasiums, we would call them. In actual fact, on the left was the assembly hall, the main gymnasium in the middle, and on the right the boxing gymnasium. As we approach them, you can see quite clearly, I'm sure, where C, B, A and Guards Company was situated. Many will no doubt notice in between there the little alleyway that ran up towards the guardroom area, bypassing the Sergeant's Mess and Sergeant's Mess accommodation.
Yeah, where the three trees are. Behind the gymnasiums we had the Sergeant's Mess, and behind the Sergeant's Mess we had the HQ blocks. We're going back now to the gymnasium, behind there where the Sergeant's Mess was, and the Sergeant's Mess accommodation. And
we're overlooking in the distance there, on the right distance, what was Wingate Square, and were you any near it you could see it's still slightly raised as we remember what it was. We're overflying the area now that had the cookhouse and also a number of the training wings.
Yes, those obvious buildings as well, but they weren't there at the time. These are new. These were the Western Command workshops, but that's been expanded now and there's quite a lot of industry in there.
The three gymnasiums are very well utilised, as is the whole of that part of Park Hall, and it's owned by the Oswestry Showground. And in fact in 2009, when we opened the memorial in K-Glass Park in town, we had the formal dinner there. The whole area, as you're looking at it now, is extensively used, particularly in the summer months, where you have pony clubs, the Harley Davidson group of Great Britain, caravan conventions, even a circus. On the right of the picture you'll see buildings with a light coloured roof. This is the old officers' mess, which in actual fact is very well used now and is the headquarters of Oswestry Rugby Club.
Here we are, everyone remember this, walking along in front of the gymnasiums and quite often standing at this particular spot waiting to go into the cookhouse in the morning, hoping no one would smash your mug. And There we go to the end now. The end part there is used by a lot of pensioners now for the men's hut, do they call it now, the men's hut? The men's shed, I think, something like that, with retired people meeting, and it's become quite popular. And the building on the left there, that's temporary toilets have been put in for the numerous activities, as Brian said. And I think on the left, where that telegraph pole was where the padre's hut was. And then we got further on, I think we had the teaching blocks.
We are now approaching what would have been the assault course directly in front. And as we turn left now, we're on the edge of Wingate Square being on the right, and you can see on the left as we were, it was raised. As you would go now towards this crossroads would be C Company, and we turn back, going down the road that the other company lines were and towards the gymnasium area, with the cookhouse on the left.
That's it.
Just leave it there. We are well above that same area now, with a view of the CO's house, and again going back to where Butler Square would be. We're looking directly now at the sports field, which, as mentioned earlier on, now extensively used by the Oswestry Rugby Club. On the top right of the picture is the old Oswestry Hill Fort, which we'll come back later on in this series of videos. It was a popular training and cross-country route. For those who perhaps didn't know or had forgotten, it's one of the oldest hill fort sites in the country.